Hey, what's going on, fragrance friends? It's Justin with Sillage Scents. Today I want to dive into a topic that I really wanted to find a video on whenever I first started kind of investigating fragrances, building my collection a few years ago. And I want to talk about SPICEBOMB and SPICEBOMB Extreme, two of my favorite fragrances, and some clone / inspired by or alternative fragrances. So that's what we're going to jump into. Before we do, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. I've got videos coming out every couple days, and I think that you'll enjoy them if this one is something that you like. Also, let me know down in the comments, are there others that should be in this list? I hope there are. You know, there's probably ones that I don't know about, so I look forward to hearing from you down there. All right, we're going to start with the original SPICEBOMB. This thing is just such an incredible fragrance. It's pretty versatile in my opinion. I will even wear it in the summer sometimes whenever, I'll go like 2 or 3 sprays if it's not too hot, if I'm in air conditioning, but it really shines spring, fall, winter. It's just fantastic. It's a tobacco-based fragrance that's got some prominent woods and prominent spices. It also has a little bit of citrus in the opening. You've got some nutmeg and some pepper and some cinnamon. You've got some cedar with a little bit of sort of a gruff texture. You've got some significant sweetness in this fragrance as well. So it's a very woody, very spicy, sweet fragrance. And it's just captivating. Once you smell it, if you like it, you're probably going to be hooked for life. So some that are alternatives, one that is a really great clone you can get on Amazon for $10. I'll try to remember to put a link down below. This is Parfums BELCAM, a great cheapy company. $10 for this one right here, Volatile. And this one is very similar. I would say 90% similar to the original SPICEBOMB. And one of the differences is in the opening of this fragrance, there's a touch more of the pencil shaving woodiness in this fragrance as there is in SPICEBOMB. SPICEBOMB still has that accord, but this one, for the first 10 minutes or so, you're going to get it a little stronger. And just to say, I don't really love that pencil shaving vibe that's in a lot of fragrances, but once that wears off, they are almost indistinguishable. Super impressive what this fragrance can do. And it's about a 6 or 7 hour performer, which is pretty good. My bottle of SPICEBOMB is 2 years old, and it's about an 8-hour performer on me. So this one gets pretty close. And for $10, you absolutely cannot beat it. Volatile by Parfums BELCAM. One that I would put in probably the 85% similar category. It's also very close to SPICEBOMB, but this one does not have that rich tobacco note. So it's a slight bit fresher, maybe a touch sweeter, but maybe not. It's still very woody, very spicy, citrus on the top, good bit of sweetness. And this one's another one you can get for $10 or less at the rack stores. This one's called Beverly Hills Polo Club. I've got several bottles of this. You can pick up, gift sets and that kind of thing. And this one I will wear this one more in warm weather than I do the original SPICEBOMB. One, because I want to preserve my bottle. It's 2.5 years old. Some people say the very newest formulation is weaker. I don't know if that's right or not. But I'm getting the most out of my little, 1.7 ounce bottle. So this one right here is a cheapie that is very close to SPICEBOMB, and one that I think is even a little more appropriate for those warmer days when you want that sweet, spicy, woody blast. All right, next up, I'm going to move into a category. These are, 80% or less similar to SPICEBOMB, but they're still very close to SPICEBOMB. You could smell this on someone and say, oh, well, they're wearing SPICEBOMB. I would put Azzaro Hot Pepper in this category. I would put Man in Black in this category. So, 80% similar, still very close. This one is actually a clone of Givenchy Gentleman Only Absolute, I think it's called, but that fragrance is very close to Spice Bomb, and so is this one. Another super cheapie. I got it, I think, for $8 on fragrancebuy.ca. This is called Only You by New Brand Perfumes. And there's a few of these Only You fragrances. You want to get this one that's got the red circle around the sticker. It's a pretty cheap looking presentation, cheap plastic cap. It is definitely more synthetic smelling than the other two that I just showed you. A little cheaper smelling in the first few minutes, but again, after 10 minutes or so, it's going to remind you of something very close to Spice Bomb, that woody, spicy, sweet, wonderful fragrance. This one I would say leans more fall and winter, but it's still a pretty daggum good pickup for $8 if you like Spice Bomb. All right, next up, I'm going to go with one that was discontinued and very rare for quite a while, but the last year it's shown up everywhere. You can get it for around $40, and it's from a designer brand that makes some really great fragrances. This one is Mercedes-Benz VIP Club Infinite Spicy. And so this one, I would say, is kind of in between Spice Bomb and Man in Black. It doesn't have the booziness of Man in Black, and it doesn't have quite as much sweetness as Spice Bomb. So it's kind of right in the middle, but I would still put it in that realm of maybe 75% similar to Spice Bomb. Definitely in the same family, definitely in the same neighborhood. Mercedes-Benz VIP Club. If you like oriental spicy fragrances with a woodsy base, then this is definitely one to check out while it's still available everywhere or in many places online. So that's the original Spice Bomb. There's also one of the Real Tree fragrances. I think it might just be Real Tree, but do your own research. There's one of those that's also very similar, probably 85% similar to Spice Bomb. You can often get that one at rack stores for around $10 or $12 as well. There's a lot of options with the original Spice Bomb. There's even one of the clone brands, I think Alexandria has a Spice Bomb clone. I think it's called Bazooka or something like that. But Spice Bomb Extreme, on the other hand, has been very difficult to find a good alternative or clone or inspired by. And of course, I'm talking about this one, Spice Bomb Extreme, beautiful vanilla dominant Spice Bomb fragrance. And so you've got that tobacco, you've got coarse woodsy base, you've got the pepper and the nutmeg and the cinnamon, you've got that real strong spiciness, but it's smoothed over with a blanket of vanilla. To me, this fragrance, come October, November, December, this is my favorite fragrance for that time of year. This is like the holidays in a bottle. I think it's the perfect Thanksgiving or Christmas fragrance. It just reminds me of that time of year. So I did wear this once this week, just kind of getting ready for the fall. Our weather's starting to change here. I'm loving it. This is an amazing fragrance. It is expensive. You're not going to find it probably for less than $100. I've seen it on Amazon a time or two at around $90. If you see it at that price, you probably want to grab it for the full-size bottle, the 3.3 ounce. And I really only know of one that I would say is truly inspired by, or I think it's supposed to be a clone, but there are some significant differences. And the fact of the matter is, this CREMO fragrance, Spice and Black Vanilla, I do believe that they were trying to make a clone of Spice Bomb Extreme. It's basically, 80% similar, but it's significantly more synthetic. Viktor and Rolf fragrances are high quality. They're high-end designers. They smell quality. Spice Bomb Extreme is like a 12-hour fragrance. It projects for 4 or 5 hours. It's amazing what that fragrance does. This one is significantly lower quality, but it's also $20. And whenever I've mentioned this before, I get people in the comments say, oh, no way, it doesn't smell like Spice Bomb Extreme. But I'll tell you, TLTG, Ross, guy does some really great content. Whenever he got this fragrance, he sprayed it on his hand. He said, if I would have got this before Spice Bomb Extreme, I never would have bought Spice Bomb Extreme. It's that similar. Now, I don't feel that strong about it, but if you want something that's going to get you in the neighborhood of Spice Bomb Extreme, this is the best thing that I know of. And something I've done a number of times, and I even mixed up a decant mixing these two together for my sons. You know, if you spray this on one side of your body and you spray this on the other side of your body, you're going to get something with these two fragrances that is going to remind you of Spice Bomb Extreme. You're going to get a similar kind of scent cloud and sillage for 6 hours or so. And so, you know, these are some things to consider. Ultimately, if you can afford the real thing, grab it. But here's what I want to know. Why hasn't Fragrance World or Paris Corner or Lattafa or Armaf or somebody, why hasn't someone cloned Spice Bomb Extreme? I think it's, you know, probably the #1 needed clone fragrance. Maybe it's so complex that it's hard to clone. I wouldn't know. I'm not a chemist, but we need that. You know, can we make a noise about that somehow so that Fragrance World, who's cloning everything right now, I've got a bunch of their fragrances coming in the next few days, a bunch of stuff, some I haven't even seen anybody do content on. So these, you know, these companies that are making clones now like crazy, they need to do Spice Bomb Extreme. Let's wave our hands and shout about it until they do. Anyway, I am Justin. This has been Sillage Scents. Let me know in the comments, do you know of some clones of these that I have not mentioned, especially Spice Bomb Extreme? Also, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love it if you'd join us on this fragrance journey. Thanks. I'll see you on the next video.